Namaskar. They say a week is a long time in politics. Last Friday was when that big flare-up happened between Putin, I take that back, Zelensky and Trump and J.D. Vance. And you're seeing so much happen. From here, he goes directly, Zelensky goes directly to London, and then there is a London summit in Lancaster House. They decide that UK will start funding Ukraine, and then he goes to Ukraine. But then he finds out that US has ordered all the NATO partners not to give any more intelligence information to Ukraine. And suddenly Ukraine says, oh my goodness, I can't do this thing. I need to go back crawling to the United States. Now, what Trump has said is, I have got the letter of Zelensky, but he has not said what he's going to do with it. What is really going on? Remember, there is something called as the military industry complex. This MIC is the one that has been controlling a lot of interests of the United States in various parts of the world. Whenever they want a regime change, yes, they engineer a regime change. Of course, people like CIA are brought into the play, Department of State, but usually the regime is quite willing to do this because they feel like they may be able to gain something, or if nothing else, at least to just give back to those people who have contributed to their war chest as far as running elections goes. Now, you know that Biden was a puppet. Who was the one that was running, pulling the strings? We don't know yet, but there were some faces. Susan Rice for one. And we've been telling this through Daily Global Insight. So please don't say that suddenly we have jumped on this bandwagon. For 4 years, we've been saying this. What is going on now? Did the Biden administration overpay the military industry complex? Is that why what Zelensky is saying, that I only got so much money when you said that you are sending so much money? Is that what happened? All this and more. The interplay between deep states of two different entities, the United States and Europe. What happened to the deep state entities in Europe? Do they feel like there is something going away here? If the US refuses to fight in Ukraine, what's going to happen? They will lose something. What is it that they are going to lose? All this and more in this hangout. Please like this video and you will not be disappointed. A lot of new information that is coming out, and we have put it together. I'll give you a bunch of reference links right after this finishes. I forgot to add it before, but I will add that right after this finishes, so you can go in and start looking into all the new developing relationships as well as new formations. In fact, Manoj has been very perceptive. He's asked a few good questions. Manoj, the answers for some of these things will be at 6 a.m. IST, where I have actually already recorded this information, and that will in fact also be available for members in about 20-25 minutes. So a lot of things are happening. So fasten your seatbelts, like this video, viewers. The Biden administration allegedly funneled up to 5 times the cost price of some of the materials to the military industry complex. This is called over-invoicing. This is a very standard practice. It's something that I have accused the Indian government, especially the UPA, many times during my writings in pgurus.com. I just got tired because the Modi administration wasn't doing anything about it. And I said, well, what is the point in keeping on saying the same thing? These guys are going to do nothing about it. But something is still happening. I hope that all these things will be shut down and that normalcy will resume. This is believed to be the reason why Zelensky said, I got so much, but US thought it sent so much. So why this is that big discrepancy. Now, what also happened was in 2022, Zelensky met the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Blackrock, to discuss Ukraine's post-war economic recovery. Remember, after 3 weeks, they're almost close to signing a ceasefire. And then, of course, Biden administration, through Boris Johnson, that has become evident now, told them, no, don't do that, keep fighting. So how did Blackrock get involved? They had a fund, Ukraine Development Fund, that was established in partnership with the government of Ukraine and Blackrock Financial Market Advisory. BlackRock utilized Eurobonds as the primary investment tool for its financial operations inside Ukraine. The fund was designed to mobilize capital for infrastructure, agriculture, energy, and technology sectors. Zelenskyy signed a loan agreement with BlackRock, mortgaging 30% of Ukraine's fertile agricultural lands west of the Dnipro River. Remember, the Dnipro River is sort of cutting Ukraine approximately into two halves. Just west of that is supposed to be the most fertile lands. The land was reportedly secured for BlackRock, Cargill, Monsanto, Bayer, the one that gives you genetically modified seeds, and other multinational agri-business corporations. Over 9 million hectares, more than 28% of Ukraine's arable land, are controlled by oligarchs, corrupt individuals, and large agri-businesses. Now, the US pension funds, foundations, and university endowments have invested in Ukrainian land through 𝗪𝐶H Capital. It's a US-based private equity fund. The Western funding has led to increased financial dependency on global institutions, limiting Ukraine's agricultural sovereignty. I mean, Ukraine is in a whole lot of pain. If they stop fighting, they still will have to have a handout. They need money from somebody, from somewhere. Western financial aid to Ukraine has come with conditions requiring economic reforms, austerity measures, and privatization. Now, Zelenskyy enacted land reform in 2020 despite opposition from the majority of Ukrainians who feared it would exacerbate corruption, reinforce agribusiness monopolies, weaken small-scale Ukrainian farmers. BlackRock, which is one of the biggest passive hedge funds, reportedly warned the Ukrainian army against buying. So they had dibs for this space. What BlackRock said was, you shall not bury your soldiers here because we want to use this thing for agriculture. Some experts speculate this was a strategy for Ukraine to repay its mounting debts, effectively transferring national assets to transnational capital such as BlackRock. BlackRock, together with Vanguard, we told you about this. And also there is one more thing called State Street. In all these three companies, each has a stake in the other, and that combines for close to $21 trillion of assets. And that is almost 20 or 15% more than the GDP of the European Union. What I'm saying here is just two, but I'm adding the third one, State Street, because State Street is another entity which is similar to these two. The firm played a major role in the US Federal Reserve's financial stimulus program, especially the quantitative easing programs. Who are the people who are enabling all this for BlackRock? BlackRock has close ties to the US government, including former executives serving in the Biden administration. And who are these executives? 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗏, he was an ex-deputy treasury secretary. Eric Van Nostrand, ex-treasury's senior advisor on Russia and Ukraine. Mike Pyle, ex-senior economic advisor to VP Kamala Harris. Brian Deese, former director of the US National Economic Council. Now, not only that, BlackRock employs multiple former CIA officers and funds the 𝗟𝗡𝗙 venture capital fund. It's a VC fund. It's a well-known thing. 𝗟𝗡𝗙 has funded many things, many technological companies today. And it was always thought as, hey, listen, this is another body that has money to play with. And what's wrong? I mean, CIA may take some option to, use it, first use technology of that particular product. And this is something that has been debated in VC circles a lot, but nothing really has been seen as to be illegal in this. Thomas Donilon, BlackRock's research head, previously served as National Security Advisor to Barack Obama. There is a corruption here. The corruption concerns in Ukraine's BlackRock deal are as follows. Several Ukrainian officials have been accused of corruption. Who are they? Valeria Gontareva, former National Bank head. Natalia Yaresko, former finance minister, US citizen. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗿𝗏 oligarch and George Soros associates. See, there's the Soros link. US taxpayers are financing BlackRock's involvement in military aid to Ukraine. This is not all. Poland wants ace pound of flesh, and so does France and also UK. So what is happening now? You will see now that some of these people are being felt like they are being left out, while the United States deep state companies are beginning to make the most of it. Is that what is happening? Let's take a quick look. Poland is reportedly forcing Ukraine to sign a separate agreement, mortgaging adjacent Ukrainian oblast. Oblast is a state. Think of it like a state, administrative entity bordering Poland. This move could serve as a collateral for Poland's economic and political interests in post-war Ukraine. By the way, I think 5 million Ukrainians have refugees have gone into Poland. Initially, when the war started, many of them moved to Poland, especially women and children moved there, while the able-bodied men remained to fight. It is a really sorry state of affairs. Ukraine is losing big here. And when this whole thing dust settles, when they start rebuilding their lives, I don't know how many able-bodied men will be left. There could be a generational loss. Now, this is as far as Poland is concerned. What about United Kingdom and France? They reportedly did not benefit from all the things that BlackRock did, and therefore now they are frustrated, saying that, look, we started getting entry late, we made some money, but we need to make much more. This is evidently the main reason why the EU, that is particularly UK and France, they are making so much noise. There have been some MICs, military industrial complex companies from Europe. I think there was one company from Germany, a bunch of companies in France and UK that have supplied ammunition to Ukraine. But again, remember, the majority of the funding came from the United States, the US taxpayer. All those of you who are US citizens paying taxes into US, you all should feel outraged. I am too. And this is where things stand today. And what a gross travesty of justice here. Just because a few want to make money off of us, they have started a war. Thousands have died. And I don't know how many countries have now pulled into it. Certainly North Korea is fighting here. Certainly some Indians, some Nepalis, some Gorkhas, some other country people are also pulled into it. Some NATO members are also now involved in it. And for what? A few pieces of silver? That's all it seems to be. Well, that's all I have. Let me take a few questions from all of you. A lot of questions from you guys. First question from Manoj Sharma. Can we expect a series of episodes? Yes, Manoj. We are trying to do it at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is wherever you are, whatever the time is now. And this is something in the middle of the afternoon for US. It's 5 p.m. in Eastern time, like for example in DC. Manoj again, can we expect a series of videos about scams done by Congress and Italy lobby? I've read some portion of your book, Who Painted My Money White? So much depth info, can't understand some things. Manoj, there isn't a thing that they have not touched. And I would encourage you to download our P-Gurus app, that is free, and do watch some of the exclusive content that we are putting there, that we are not putting it on YouTube. The reason is we are getting ready to a point where if there is any link cutting, that is if people are forcing us off air, we'll have another way to reach you. So please do download the app. There is a new video that I put of part 2 of 𝗟𝗍𝗫 𝗪𝗏 versus Raga, why that happened. I'm going to have more interesting videos like that very, very soon. Next. Ramchandran wants to know US motive in breaking Russia in its war. UK objective is breaking Russia back. Europe is caught in the middle. Who will succeed? 6 a.m. I have a follow-up on this, on what US and Russia are planning to do along with Israel to try and get the Middle East under order. Just watch that one also, not just this one. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of stuff happening. And Manoj, same thing goes for you also. Big tilt at a global level. Please do watch that one. It's about 15 minutes long. It's a little bit longer than this. And I had to cover all the information that I have at my disposal. So do watch that. And between these two, you will get the latest geopolitical realignments that are taking place. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.